Ta-da! There are a few of us here tonight, even though this was the show that almost didn't happen. For those of you who were looking for the link and said, where the heck is the link? Well, there's that movie, The Missing Link. So it was missing because I was in La La Land, I guess, and screwed up big time, but managed to recover and get it out there anyway, like 2 hours before the show. But yeah, they changed our the layout of our Restream a little bit, and I didn't even have a chance to look to see what they really did, other than it took me a few minutes to figure out how to even schedule the meeting because they moved it from where it was before. So I always love it when they just like snooker you and you log in and you go, huh? But welcome everybody to our monthly image review. We have 77 images for tonight's show. So I thank everybody who contributed images for the show, and for those that have not, consider doing it in the future on a future image review. It's always the first Saturday of every month at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Of course, our time is changing starting tomorrow morning. But anyway, I would like to get, I said it 100 times. I mean, I'd rather have 2 pictures from everybody and have 50 people send in pictures, but we have not had any progress in terms of having new people, come to the show, or people that maybe watch the show but don't necessarily go in the chat, decide to come into the chat and start sharing some of their pictures. And I don't know exactly what we can do to try to improve that situation, but it is a little bit of a negative that we rely on, a core group of people that send pictures in, and we're just not making any headway in terms of improving things. So anybody has any great ideas on how we can do that, and feel free to send me an email and share your thoughts with me. We won't get wrapped up in it on tonight's show. So we're going to have everybody on the panel say their hellos, and then we will go and see who's in the chat. And I'm sure some people thought there was no show, so we got them all confused. That was the goal. This is the confused. This is the Dazed and Confused episode that I didn't tell you about. So this is what we're trying out. But let's go clockwise. We'll start with Roy, and what's going on in Down Under, as they say.
I got myself some new mini little tripod heads. A few of those.
All right.
You cue something. I can't see in this light. And all my old rubber lens hoods have all perished. They're only 50 years old or so they should last longer than that.
Yeah, Roy's going to see if it's still under warranty. He's like, darn it, 50 years and they should still be good. 50 years.
I like rubber lens hoods. They're handy.
You need the receipt.
But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised more people don't use them, but
I've still got a pile. We've got to check them all out now. See which one.
Yeah, you're going to find 1 out of every 3 has a tear in it now.
Yeah.
You have no bird friends next to you tonight?
I do.
You do?
I've got magpies and a crow, 2 crows, and a funny bird. I don't know what it is.
We'll just call it a funny bird. I find lots of funny birds. There's a bird that you'll see in the images tonight that Michael Dries took that I never heard of it. I've never seen one. Pretty interesting bird. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's reaction when they see this particular specimen, because it's definitely. I was like, oh wow, that's a pretty impressive bird. So we're gonna leave you on edge there until we get there. Gustavo, I know that I'm not going to have you talk too much. Recovering from some oral surgery, and he's on real good pills that make him very happy and very tired. So he's not going to be talking a lot tonight, guys.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
No, so what I have been up to, yes, Jeff mentioned I have some oral surgery. I think what was Thursday, and I have not been sleeping completely well. So I'm going to continue the show after we start with the image review in my iPad, because I'm trying to recuperate until I get a good sound sleep overnight. Then my brain will be functioning and I can talk. So apart from that, which is not that great, I have been, like I mentioned last time, I have been working on my trying to scan some of my slides. I actually have been done quite a little bit of work on that, and learned quite a bit, which I will share. I actually prepared something to share today, but I will do it for the next general meeting regarding the cleaning on the slides and all that kind of stuff. It turned out to be more laborious than I thought, but I'm making some progress and certainly some slides, particularly families slides, and that I wanted to save. I have made some progress, and what you're going to see tonight is part of that work, because I'm going to. Jeff has a description for an old event that I attended many years ago, so you're going to see some, hopefully, good all these goody photos from the past, right?
I gotta get James Earl Jones on the show or something to say that Gustavo archives. Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly. So probably you will end up seeing someone talking about birds. These actually have been driving me crazy. Over the last, I think, week, there have been an owl around here, an owl called the northern saw-wheat owl, or saw-wheat owl, right? Which is not common here. And these damn owl make a heck of a noise, okay? But I cannot find it. I have been going out with, my torch, try to find it. I cannot find it. So it is actually a very small owl that a little bit bigger than a robin, okay? And it's particularly pretty. But I typically, when you can hear them, you can find them, but it has been almost impossible. I never seen them. I never photographed them. Maybe I get lucky because they are not that common around this area. I presume they live in the tundra area in Canada, and they migrate south, but they tend to migrate south more towards the east. But I presume there is so much snow in the east that they have come here a little bit west. But that would be great if I can show you some of that. But in the meantime, you will see some from the archive, and that's what I have.
Yeah, I was very. I had a big smile on my face when I got the resurrected images that Gustavo sent me, because it brought back memories for me. And I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say I used to take some photos of that particular genre myself many years ago, and so it made me think of the times when I was doing some of that too. But I think everybody's gonna really like what you sent in. I'm trying to type here and think at the same time. It doesn't work.
Randall, you can go in the meantime.
Okay. So I really haven't been doing anything. There was some a death in the family, and things didn't work out that way. But I did put up a video Well, I'm putting up a video right now, but basically, I put. I did try to acquire the 70 to 200, so we'll see if I get one shipped in late of this month. I'm a little behind on the time change, so I found that out before the show, thanks to these guys. And now I have to worry about changing 10 different clocks in my house and car.
When they do it themselves,
Happy
isn't it?
time.
So
You're,
that's
you're
about
just
it.
going to have to update your clock so you can print them all from your phone or something and hit one button and change them all.
Either that or use it as a frisbee and let the dog take care of it. That'll be one less thing I have to worry
The
about.
dog might take care of it anyway, Randall.
Yeah.
Right, next time the time changes, you're going to say, I'm down to 6 clocks now.
It will be a happy time. It's a happy time.
And Terry, what have you been up to?
Oh, I was a bit busy with all these things happening in Middle East and the problem it creates for my travel. Parallel to avoid that, I'm playing.
All right.
It's very, very strong. I wasn't expecting it, but digging in my rubbish bin, I find this.
Exactly.
Because I was thinking, how can I make it for low shots, particularly from the car.
Very good.
Now I'm waiting for the trigger for the grip, the MC M10,
Okay.
because it's not easy to. My tries around here to see if I can work with. Was very awkward to if I wanted to change the focus point or change aperture or whatever. And I had the trigger, but I didn't have this power to change things. And I ordered this the grip I'm waiting for, and I hope it will be all right.
Yeah.
And basically, I hope I will have a travel to go to use them. Yeah.
It just plugs in and you'll get back button autofocus on your ZR too.
Yeah.
But that sounds like an interesting contraction, Terry, that you're building up there for the low angle. And then you can change the distance, correct?
Yeah.
To make
Yeah.
that arm straight or longer.
Up to this distance, I mean, it's a big. If you come up and keep it on the side,
Exactly.
it's going really low. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how.
Need to practice. And then,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to have somebody filming you using it and then share it. But you can see, but then you can edit out the embarrassing stuff too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Take off everything and that's it.
yeah, because it's particularly difficult sometimes, from above with a telephoto lens to point the right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was the idea, but then I realized you can't really do it with a tele, with a big zoom.
Yeah.
But if I have something like that to do, the subject will be some normal distance.
Yeah.
Which means probably my 70 to 100 will be enough.
Exactly.
I don't think I will ever, because I was thinking, yeah, I will put the 180, 600 now. Well, and then say, hey, wake up. Doesn't work like that. I try it. It works fine because my fear was my eyes. If I can really see the back screen.
The screen, exactly.
And I thought,
No, you
Get a
can.
field monitor.
could I use it or not? But finally, I see the distances because I have glasses for close, glasses for middle and far away, and all these kind of glasses. But the distance looks okay, it shows me what I need to know. I can see the focus point and generally the picture inside the frame, which I think, yeah, now the only thing I need after I put everything together to test it again and again to be more familiar with the whole thing. Something to do the next week.
Maybe next show you report on the progress on that one.
Yeah. I have a photograph how to do anyway, but it's not a big deal. I can show you. It's simple construction.
Yeah, no, we,
I have the handle with a present from Nikon. When I ordered the 6.3, they give me this one together, like a present. Maybe, I assume, because they delay, they said to me, it is on your card, continue, go and continue, and blah, blah, blah. And I go there, was nothing. And I have to call them back, tell them what's going on, email me back, oh, I'm sorry, we will fix it. It took another extra day. And maybe that was the reason to put this present together.
okay.
And having this, I start thinking, because I have another one which doesn't work all right. I thought, how can I use it? I have a new toy.
A handle
And,
for the small rig?
Sorry?
Small rig handle or?
Yeah, I had a small, no, it wasn't a small ring. It was something similar like the small ring.
But they're all compatible, right?
Because it didn't have the holes on the sides.
Okay.
And this one give me the idea I can join the trigger there, and I will use it, like that. The one hand the trigger, the other one with moving the thing, because I thought having the controller there, the trigger, the wireless, and the hand down there.
I just remembered something. You'll need one of those adapters. If you've got the N10 grip, you need an RE adapter.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that too. I've already ordered. A guy from the Steve Perry's blog. I make a general question, and that was the first thing they told me. I didn't know, and I start running and checking all the holes in the handle and everything, but still I'm thinking maybe one of the holes on the side may be all right, but I'm not sure. And that's why I ordered this adapter.
Okay.
Looks promising.
It's like playing with an erector set. You go, I
was
You're like, there's a box
surprised.
somewhere in the house with some stuff in it, and I know I got something that'll work.
I was surprised about the rigidity of this thing, because I bought that couple of years now, thinking I will use this multiple bracket on my tripod to put it on the top a telephone to show me better connect the phone with the camera and have the picture there instead the back screen. And that was the reason why I bought it. And I had almost forgotten there, and I wasn't expecting to be so strong. And they told me, no, don't do it, don't break this, blah, blah, blah. And I start putting the camera with 180, 600, move it. And Julie was telling me, what the bloody hell are you doing? You won't? I said, I'm trying to break it. Fortunately, I didn't do it. Yeah.
Well,
That's for me.
keep us posted on your progress.
Yeah, I will.
And now we'll move on to Mount Rushmore. I mean, Mount David.
Well,
You should have got Mount Rushmore, and you could have been
You know that he's
head on
naked.
Mount Rushmore.
He's naked from the throat down.
Well, you
It's
know
nudity.
how it is with the cutbacks in Canada. We just can't afford to have a complete person on on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier to warm up your head only, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I need less whiskey that way.
Yeah.
But I was out to the zoo with Anita today. They had a special on for photographers for an extra so many bucks to get into the Africa exhibit for 2 hours before they let the general public in. And they had special feedings of certain animals, and they had a schedule so you can be there and take shots with 50 other photographers. But it was the interesting thing about that is how many people had Nikon gear and some of the other cameras too. There was a Nikon FE, and I haven't seen one of them for a while. There was quite a few Canons. I came across a person that was shooting Pentax, and she had a good. Well, she's been shooting Pentax for better than 50 years, and so she doesn't want to change now. You know, got to buy too much glass, and it's anyway. We got a bunch of good shots, and we'll see what we can do about having them ready for next photo review. And it's only if I can afford to have more of my body showing, you know, because the extra bandwidth is expensive sending it all around the world. Anyway, back to you, Jeff.
All right, let's go through and say hi to those that have been patiently waiting for us to say hello to them in the chat. We got Robert R. Dave is just a talking head. But so we got Robert, we've got Jim's here, real Nikon lover. Let me scroll down here. We should have Robert Varner was here early. He says he's here to fill in the body count, and more bodies the better. We're looking for bodies. Bob, our photos is here. Bob, your images are as usual one of the first ones to come up, which will be in a few minutes here. And let's see. And Ted's here, Art Bear. Good to see you. Ted gives me a call, and Ted is one of a handful of people that when you know, there's a handful of people that communicate with me where they're never short phone calls, and that's fine with me. I mean, I think many cases, and we would could talk all day long if we had the time, you know, with a lot of the people that call me up. Good people, all of them. So we got King Crux is here. I hope you're still here. We didn't put you to sleep yet. Rakesh is here. Luis in Sri Lanka. And let's see, make sure. If I miss anybody, guys, let me know. I'm still moving down the list here.
No, I think we are okay.
That's about it.
Yep.
All right, so why don't we get the show on the road here? We don't have a lot of rumor stuff to talk about after the images, in part due to my own negligence in terms of having a show tonight at all, since I was very lax in my attention span this week with things going on. But anyway, we got 77 images, so let's get to it. I will share the screen. And then we can get started here.
Industry construction there.
And let me make it bigger. No, I guess that's as big as I'm going to get it. All righty, be that way.
Press the F button.
Gotta get out of I got too many apps open here. Uh-oh.
You're still there.
Am I still there?
Yeah, I can still see the bird.
All right. I'm just trying to get, I can't see the show all of a sudden.
Well, we'll tell you if you're missing anything.
You'll tell me if we're missing everything. Okay. All righty. All right. So the first image here.
If you press the F button, it will make it full screen.
Well, trouble is I have to have my my actual app up for Lightroom, so I can't cover it up.
Well, it will be Lightroom anyway. It doesn't matter. My idea. That's an idea.
So anyway, the first image is from Mr. Reppert, Bob Reppert. All the images you're going to see that he took were with the Z8 with the 180 to 600 Z lens. Most were shot wide open at f6.3, and shutter speeds ranged anywhere from 1/250th of a second to 1/800th of a second. And this one here is of a green heron that managed to stab a fish. I like the way the light's hitting that fish. So Bob went through his portfolio here to pull up some stuff that some stuff recent, some stuff from a little while back. We got the little fuzzy-headed green heron here, which will be before we know it, we will be seeing these again down the road. We haven't gone to the area where there's normally nets building. They got some big construction project going on in the park that may unfortunately have a negative impact on nesting. We will have to see if that holds true or not. But so we may not get a lot of nesting shots this year. So image number 3 is a horned grebe in the winter plumage. You got that little red below the eye. That's a cool little bird. And it's amazing. We only really saw it once. Usually if they get a fish, it's a very small fish. But there was one particular day where one of them got a fish that was probably as big as the body of the bird, and it managed to swallow it. And I don't know where it put it, but you know, it's just amazing. You know, they must you know, just grind up these things as soon as they go down their throat, because I don't know how they fit half the stuff these birds eat. You know, it's amazing.
What they doing with the bones?
Where the nesting area is, there's a lot of rumors that the company called Ducks Unlimited, which wouldn't necessarily be a good thing, is an organization obviously for hunters, for duck hunting, and I don't know if they're investing in the park, and they're supposed to be making a large viewing area in the area where these birds nest. So they already got, you know, part of the sidewalk area blocked off. I really don't know how long the project's going to take to get done or what the scope of it is. They don't really tell you a heck of a lot, but it may just be enough commotion to disturb a lot of these birds where they're find somewhere else to nest. I hope not, but it's a possibility.
Yeah. We've got Ducks Unlimited up here, and they own an awful lot of land, and they're rehabilitating an awful lot of the water areas for the birds, and they make it so that there's an awful lot more birds there. And I think their idea is if there's more birds to shoot. So the two kind of go together.
Yeah, but I think it's a no-no if the state park decides to let people shoot birds in it. I think that would be a bad thing.
Well, the thing is, they don't allow shooting on their land, because it's a refuge for the birds, and it's working out fairly well here, from what I understand.
Yeah, time will tell. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Another image from Bob. This is a red-headed woodpecker, one of our favorites. We don't see them a lot, but when we do, they're. I mean, this is probably my favorite woodpecker. Probably a tie between the red-headed woodpecker and the pileated woodpecker. Those two are my favorite ones, but nothing
Beautiful
like
color.
beautiful redhead. Just
Yeah.
for there are a lot of guys out there like redheads. What can I say, right?
Me too. Me too.
And then he's got some pictures. These were some young great egrets that were climbing all over each other, waiting for food. And then one more from Bob here, and this should be like, "Where's Waldo?" Okay, what are you looking for?
Nice.
You just see that. You see that little head
Yeah,
poking
like the
up.
head of turtle head, isn't it?
Camera shy. Nothing worse than camera shy turtles. The next images we have coming up, I'll rattle off a few names of who's next. Terry, you're up second year at bat, and then after you is some images from Luis. So we will go to your first image, Terry. Hopefully, I have them in the right order. Like I said, I've done a good job of kind of messing things up this week, so I apologize to everybody. But we'll let you do your narration here, my friend.
You got me. Well, I can't remember the name of this one, but
You had a bush stone curlew.
exactly, yeah. The funny thing with this bird is just they told us that if they are scared, or if they're hiding and they saw you around, they're freezing. You can go beside them, look at them, and they will look at you, and they will do nothing, just freeze.
Wow.
Most of the times, of course, they're sitting around the area which is they have a good camouflage, as you can see. But in cases like this one, for example, with a green background, they're not so good with camouflage anyway. But yeah, that was the most intriguing thing about these birds.
Now I see it's been tagged. It has a ring on its leg.
Yeah,
Uh,
most
is
of
it-
our,
is it- is
our
it
birds
a-
around here they have.
Is it endangered at all, or
Not as far I know.
okay? Yeah, it like you said, it has that look of like, okay, I'm going to pretend I'm a mannequin right now.
Yeah, at this moment, I can tell you it was sitting like that for more than a minute. And we were beside it. He moves after we move away.
I'm just fiddling with the camera while I'm watching them.
We'll go to your next image here.
That's on Phillip Island.
Cape Barren geese.
Geese, yeah. I like the color of their beak. It's really interesting. It's really lime glow, like phosphorescent. I don't think it is phosphorescent, but at daytime looks like that.
Yeah, it looks like a glow in the dark bill.
Yeah, I thought so, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is on a I've seen most of them on Phillip Island, south from here. And then now they have used the people. It's not difficult to go close, almost close to them. Always they will let you 5-6 meters away, and then if you try more, they will go away.
Now, your next image is of cattle egret, and I know we have cattle egrets in the States. I just don't remember where. I don't think they're anywhere near where I live, but do you have
I think
cattle egrets, Randall, in Texas?
I have not seen them.
Okay.
I mean, I love the yellow color.
Yeah, that's. I think if I have, I think I have right. That was in Brisbane, wasn't
Gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful bird.
it? Did I write on the email if it is from Brisbane? Because I believe that was Queensland, Brisbane.
No, you just called it liftoff.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a beautiful bird.
Yeah.
I think
It is, and that was one of the 3 images which reasonable sharp. I made. I think that guy must be with the Canon, isn't it? Must be Canon camera, like DSR maybe.
You had Z9 with the 180 to 600 at 600.
Yeah.
Okay. That means it's here. Yes. Now I remember it. It is on a small, like a lake, which is not anymore. Unfortunately, they dried it out. I don't know why. I really, really hate them because that was the only close area we could go and make photographs. In the past, I've done then some of the ibis, which surprised you, Jeff, with the red arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that shot a lot. I like that bird. And then you moved on to
That's a parrot. Was on free going around in Melbourne Zoo. It was really, really fast reaction. I really like my reaction. I was good.
I believe you.
Yeah, right.
see he's gonna like say in this storyline that he shot this at 1/60th of a second.
Sort of.
Yeah. And then I tell you, this is a funky looking bird. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah. This is our laughing cucambara. And not a cucambura, as many Americans call it. Yeah.
It really looks like it's smiling at you.
Yep.
Now,
Kingfisher with attitude.
is this the male?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a kingfisher with attitude.
Yeah. I love the color.
It is something like probably three times the size of a normal kingfisher.
Wow. Pretty good.
They're noisy.
Pretty good talons. Pretty good beefy looking claws there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very nice. And of course, the famous laughing cry from that. There is.
All night. They go all night. They drive you nuts.
Yeah. Not really. They're not. It is certain times in the afternoon, particularly, if you have around a couple of them, before the sunset, they will come together and probably talk for the rest of the day. They said what happened. And after 5-10 minutes, they go for sleep. No
one had a good story to keep them awake, I guess.
Yeah.
then your last image here is of your a Milky Way
Yeah,
shot.
That's a composite of Milky Way with down the beach. It is the same position, both of them. That's a different time.
Yeah. Now you were using the for the beach. You had the Canon with a 16 to 35 2A at 16
Yeah.
millimeters, and then for the Milky Way, you used the Z5 and
Yeah.
allow a 10 millimeter f2.8.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you did this. What do you use for your composites? You using
Most of the times I'm doing it in Photoshop.
I'm gonna say Photoshop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a difficult process?
Not really. Of course, not. I'm saying not really now. After they show me how to do it, but it's not a difficult procedure. Just if somebody show you, or if you check around, you can see it's very simple procedure, and you have choices. You can do it this way or that way. You know,
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, and of course. Another small advantage, you can use the Photoshop Change Sky.
Yeah.
It couldn't work on this one because it was too dark for the Photoshop to find the sky on the foreground photography frame. But generally, you can use this one if you save your sky image. The Photoshop can use it to put them together, and most of the times it is very good results. But doing it manually, it is a bit more control, and you can play a little bit easier.
Well, thanks for sending in those images. They're really good as always. I like them. I like the cattle egret, and then this shot's fantastic. I mean, I tell you Astro guys, I tell you, you have your secret meetings now. You got your secret club going on here.
Well, what
You are
Terry,
invited.
what
Well,
Terry's
yeah,
trying-
but I don't partake in this genre, so it really wouldn't benefit me other than general information. But that's the only reason I don't join, because it's just if I learn any more, I don't want to learn any more genres. I have enough trouble being halfway decent with the ones I do.
Fair enough.
Yeah, what Terry's trying to say is stay tuned for our show that we're going to have coming up on how to put all of this stuff together and get fantastic results, almost as good as Terry's.
Yeah, I will be the standard.
I like the way he said almost as good, Terry. Almost. As
Of course,
good.
almost.
Terry's not going to reveal all his tricks. Well, thanks for your images, Terry, as always.
Thank you.
Now we got a group of shots from Luis, and he's got the white pelicans from South Africa. He shot this with a D750 and the Tamron 150 to 600. He was at 380 millimeters. He says this capture was taken from a boat. He's at f7.1 1/1600th of a second, ISO 200. Yeah, it's these white pelicans are different looking than the white pelicans we have, because ours don't have that purple on there near the eye.
Yeah, ours not too.
Yeah, so that's different. That's unique. And then the next shot he sent in, this is called a flying Egyptian plover in the Gambia with the Z8 with the 600 millimeter PF lens. He says he anticipated the flight, hence the high shutter speed, which was 1/3200th of a second. He says this is a processed JPEG as he deleted the raw file by mistake. So this is F71, 1/3200th of a second, ISO 800 and minus 0.7 EV. Obviously, he was panning pretty good with this. Beautiful
Nice
bird.
bird. Very nice.
Beautiful bird. So then he moves on to a pied kingfisher chasing a giant kingfisher, and this was also in the Gambia. 600 millimeter PF, wide open at 6.3, 1/2000th of a second, ISO 1000. He says he was on a bridge at the end of the day with the sun on his back, and there were a few common birds to be seen, but there was not much going on. So he says he selected the speed at 1/2000th just in case. Opened the lens to 6.3 because the light was okay, but not very bright, and saw that ISO 1000 looked to be the average. He says because of the different background colors, he locked the ISO, and he says suddenly I saw these two kingfishers flying towards me. I aimed the lens, and both banked to the left just in front of him. He says, how lucky can you be? Hey, luck has a big part in nature photography. You were lucky that you were there. You were lucky you chose to go there that day, and you were there that minute.
I wonder if this kingfisher they can laugh like ours.
Yeah, quite a difference in size between the two of them.
Yeah.
Then let's see. I think he's got another one here. Got one more shot here from Luis. This is what a colorful bird. This is a violet Taraco in the Gambia as well. Nice. This is with the Z8 with the 180 to 600 at 400 millimeter focal length, f8, 1/25th of a second, ISO 800. He said he took this from a bird hide in the shade of a few big trees during the warmest time of the day. He says most birds were rather quiet because of the warmth, so he decided to slow down the shutter speed, but decided to keep the f-stop at f8 because most birds were at close range and the depth of field was very thin. He says a bit of a gamble, but like this, he says I could keep the ISO relatively low. But what a wonderful image this is.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Nice.
The color is amazing. I wonder how big that bird, if that bird's like the size of a chicken or something. I don't know.
According to Roy, is a big blue dove.
Blue dove.
Been in the cold too long.
Speaking of Roy, the next images we're going to see are from Roy.
Oops.
So he set himself up well. So we got images from Roy, and then we jump to David Stewart, followed by Anita. So those are the next three contestants on The Price is Right. So we will go to
Yay.
Roy's buddies.
Yes, my nightly visitors.
You have the only possums that I actually think are cute, because ours are really awful looking, really bad looking. They're like you see a possum where I'm from, it's like it's some gnarly looking thing that it's just horrible looking. These guys are actually pretty cute looking.
You have to be somewhere to hear them when they fight.
They don't seem to
Not
fight
really.
very much here. The Aussie ones aren't too bad.
The first time I heard them I was in Sekilda, and I thought it was some people, they had a brawl, and my wife was laughing and said, no, this is possums.
Yeah, they can get loud.
Roy just bribes nature to come to him, as you can see.
Yeah, it's easier that way. Give them a banana, they'll follow you anywhere.
And then Roy's next shot is Melbourne cityscape, but he says he missed the moon shot, moon setting. He says.
Yeah, it was cloudy.
Yeah, I have to put up with that every night, that picture.
I don't know how you manage, Roy.
It's
Can
tough.
you
Yeah.
Then Roy's like me when it comes to flowers. I always look for Jeff and Leslie to bail me out when I show a flower picture. Otherwise, I do the same thing Roy's doing here. He just calls it a weird flower. Kind of interesting where everything, all the flower part is, you got all those leaves, underneath it, and then all of a sudden, bang, everything's right there.
Fairly common here.
And then Roy sent another friend, another bribe, another bird.
Bribe 'em. I love the way they eat that. They're almost human.
Trouble is, all the birds in around Roy's house have high cholesterol.
Yeah, they do. They're getting fat as well. Don't know why.
Can you see them? You can see them. It's fat.
They don't move very quick anymore either.
So thanks, Roy, for digging those up and sending them over.
Yeah, Jeff, I'll get you to show the colored one first.
Okay. Roy did send me another shot, and I put it in later in the show. So there is one more Roy photo for everybody, and I will get David's colored shot up here.
Okay.
Hey.
This one, I used a color temperature of 2500 and my 850 nanometer filter on my 70 to 200 on my D750, which is full spectrum. So this gives you an idea of what I get to see when I take a shot. And when we go to the next one is what my stuff looks like in black and white. And that's why most of my stuff that I produce is black and white. And this is the exact same setup. And this is downtown Calgary, and it's a nice warm spring day. We keep ice in the water just so that the water doesn't get too warm, so it's the right temperature for your drinks and for keeping your beer cold.
And you can leave the bottle of scotch inside there.
No, I don't like cold scotch. I like it room temperature. Yeah.
The ice is there for the photographers for effect.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the same area, except I'm at 200 millimeters in the exact same setup. And it gives you an idea what you see with an 850 nanometer. This is infrared. Is when you look through the filter, it's like trying to look through a black wall. That's what you see. You don't see hardly anything.
Wow.
And this one is of the Canadian flag. It's you can just see the maple leaf because it's red, and then you can't see the red bars on both sides of the flag, and a lot of this has to do with your sensor because you're only using the red portion of your sensor, and so you don't get to see much of a difference of shades. And when if I showed you this in color, it would look almost the same when it comes to definition. But in this one, you can see how the flag was sewn together. So you can see the seam, but you can't see the colors.
Yeah.
This is normal, you know. And this is a scene of an old school, and now it's a Board of Education office, and it's that was supposed to be a skating rink in the foreground, except it's been either too warm or it's been too warm all winter to make good ice. So they put the rink there, but they never did any work on it. I think they flooded it once or twice, and then it melted. But like this gives you an idea of what you can get for black and white. It's usually high contrast because you're only seeing infrared. And if you have a narrow filter, the contrast is even more so.
David, can I ask you, the roof, it is snow or the infrared effect?
That's the
It's
infrared. That's the infrared effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you got, I believe,
Blast on the roofs long.
Mm.
And this would be is there one more?
one more. Yep, one more. Yep, right here.
Okay. On the coniferous trees, well, they've got snow on them, but they don't reflect infrared like the deciduous trees do. And so that you can get color, but this is snow on the ground, and it's snow on all these different works of art here. Some of them I'm not too sure if you can call them statues or what, but they're rock carvings. And we got a jogger in the background on the right. And this is along the river, and in the background you can see a bit of the river that was in my first two shots, or the second and the third shot. But it's
Well,
another.
nice change. That's a nice change of pace in terms of technique, and it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, and these are all with my 70 to 200, and different people asking me if I'm going to get a new one, and I say it doesn't fit on my D750 or my D850. So the short answer to the question is no, because
Yeah.
I don't use it much on these two cameras either.
No.
Oh,
Okay, and now we can go over to Anita.
yeah. Thanks for sending those in, Dave.
Okay.
And Anita's got a handful of shots here that she sent in, and Anita, I always appreciate she sends in some pictures, and she says, "Well, you don't have to use them all." And it's like, I'm using them all, man. Whatever everybody sends me, I don't like cherry pick what you send. Whatever you send gets shown. So this was, she commented that all the photos you're going to see, she sent me, let's see if I got it right, sent me 8 images, and they were taken with the Z8 and the 24 to 120 lens. And there's one exception to that. When we get to that picture, then I'll tell you what lens that is. But this was, I'm not going to pronounce this properly. I'm going to let Anita. Anita, you want to narrate your images so I don't embarrass myself?
She's close, but not that close.
Not that close. Okay. Lac des Arcs from the Trans-Canada Highway on the way to Banff National Park.
Yeah, Lac des Arcs, and then going to Banff.
Okay. So this was f4 1/125th 34 millimeter ISO 200. And then her next image in the same location. This was also with the 35 millimeter at f4, 1/100th of a second, ISO 200.
Nice reflection.
Yeah. Now, is that in the reflection there? Is that what are we seeing there in the water? Is that like just melting ice or?
Well,
Must be the edge of the
yeah, that
The water
is it's the lake. I don't know what was actually in
Yeah.
in the ice.
Yeah.
You know,
Interesting. I mean, I'm just looking at all the texture in it,
yeah.
makes it interesting. This one really threw me when I saw this. I'm like, what the heck is this doing there?
That's a nice,
Middle of nowhere.
nice eyes.
It's also with the 35 millimeter lens. And so is this I mean, what is this structure used for? I mean,
Well,
is there?
it's in the summertime. They run boat tours from this place, and
Okay.
it's just too big of a structure to take out of the lake, and they let it freeze in place. And in the wintertime, the ice here is probably over a meter thick. So it. But there is. I think you can walk out to this in the summertime because they put a boat dock out or a floating pier.
Okay.
And there's boat tours that run up the lake.
So this is just it's owned by a business and doing
Yeah.
touristy boat tours and stuff.
Yeah, and it's inside the national park.
Okay.
And this is actually a 4-bay to a hydro generation facility that was built before they became strict on doing things like this in the park.
This is her next image.
Ooh, yay.
And this one, it's the same body of water, but it's downstream on the way to the intakes for the hydro generating facility. I think she's got another one coming up of where the intakes are.
Yeah,
But it's not this one.
not that one.
And this is Emerald Lake. And this is it's a prime tourist area. And a
Nice
prime-
mirror effect.
Yeah, and it's a prime photography area here too, because everybody that goes by here has to come in and take this shot.
Well, I don't blame them.
And the thing is, be able to do it
The
different.
Photoshop.
Well, there's no photo. Well, minimum Photoshop involved in this, but not much, because it actually does look this nice.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the common question. That's a Photoshop.
So the next image is the one where she used the 180 to 600. The one with the train here was with the 180 to 600.
And then this is another prime location. This is Morant's Curve, and you just try to do it differently each time that you go there because it's there is that many people stop and take pictures here because this is so famous in the park that they've got their own parking lot and they got their own crosswalk in the middle of nowhere, except it's beside the curve. And then they got a nice place to stand and whatever, so you can get your shot. But they're going to have to get out and cut down some of the trees before too long because they're all of the work that they've done is getting to be behind trees. But this is a lovely S curve that the trains go around, and then it follows. There's a river off to the left. You know,
How often is a train pass through there? Once a day? Once a week?
it depends. It can be as often as every 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is the main line between Calgary and Vancouver.
Okay.
And so, but that being said, I have waited as long as 6 hours for a train. And there's other times is that you're pulling up to take a picture and you gotta park fast because the train's already there.
Yeah.
But these trains they could easily be 200 cars or long,
Gee.
and they'll have two locomotives at the front. They'll have one in the middle and one at the back.
Back, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's got two more images from her, and some ice carving going on.
Yeah.
Of course, you didn't have good luck recently, Dave, right? Because it was too warm and everything was melting.
Oh yeah, it's we made a special trip out to Lake Louise and to be there the first night that the ice carving was on, and everything was melting. And this is supposed to last for 10 days, and they canceled it. So we only got the one. It only happened one night. And we were lucky that we were scheduled for the first night.
Gee.
And this was the next day. And this guy was lucky because when they were carving, he was in the shade. The people that were in the sun, they had to put up tents and whatever to protect the ice from the sun. Because I think the temperature was 5 or 10 degrees. It was warm. You can tell by the way the guy is dressed.
Yeah.
You got to have gloves on because you're putting your hands on the ice. But when you're wearing a baseball cap like that, it's warm.
And then this is the last image she sent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And there's a goomer in the picture there, just spoiling the whole ambiance of everything.
Yeah, I think people could figure out who that might be. Well, thank Anita for me. Yell over to her. Tell her thank you.
I think they can hear you.
Thank you for the images. Now the next one's coming up. We've got Gustavo's images. I got to bring up his email. He sent me an email with the descriptions of the shots, and I keep them, but normally I don't have them. I don't have them up because normally Gustavo is able to talk through his own shots, but he's recovering right now, so he's probably asleep right now, which is fine, and I'll just do the best I can narrating the shots. Now he's been I think he talked about it a little bit on one of the last shows, was he's now getting into recovering some of his old slides, in terms of cleaning them and digitizing them and bringing them back to life. And so the images you're going to see are images that he took between 1986 and 1992 while he lived in Europe. So his wife and himself, they attended several Grand Prix races, and many enthusiasts consider this period one of the golden ages of Formula One racing. He says during those years, his photographic interests were split between wildlife and motor racing, with a particular emphasis on Formula One. So the first photo you're going to see, the photos you're going to see are from the British Grand Prix in 1992, which was the last Formula One event that that they attended. So let me find my mouse here. So he says this image, there were several prominent drivers during this era. Among them, Ayrton Senna stood out as the most significant figure. His presence on the track and his remarkable skill behind the wheel made him a central personality in Formula One during this period of time. Senna's impact and importance in the sport were unparalleled, and his legacy continues to be remembered by motorsport enthusiasts worldwide. So this is his second image. This is Gerhard Berger, and then the number 2 McLaren Honda combo platter here. He says most of the images for this event were captured using the Nikon F301 and the F3 camera paired with the Tokina 80 to 200 millimeter f2.8 T-X lens. This lens was a popular and more affordable telephoto option compared to Nikon's own models. All photographs were taken with manual focus utilizing either Kodachrome 64 or Velvia 50 film. As you will notice, most of the images were taken manual focus panning shots trying to achieve reasonable focus on the car and the driver. So this is image number 3, Johnny Herbert in the Lotus Ford entry. He says throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s, the Formula One landscape was marked by intense competition among teams. This period witnessed significant jockeying for prominence, with some teams rising to dominate the championship while others faced challenges in maintaining their status. This one is Ivan Capelli in the Ferrari. Teams such as McLaren and Williams often controlled entire seasons, consistently outperforming their competitors and setting the pace in both innovation and results. In contrast, iconic teams like Lotus and Ferrari found themselves struggling to keep up. The dynamic between these teams not only shaped the outcomes of races, but also contributed to the overall excitement and unpredictability of the era. And this next image is Ferrari in the rain. He says, although the race was officially classified as dry, there was significant rainfall throughout the weekend. Both practice and qualifying sessions on Friday and Saturday were affected by wet conditions, and rain also made an appearance during the race on Sunday. These intermittent showers added an extra layer of challenge for the drivers and teams. And this is a picture. Next picture is the ambience of the race. Capturing the ambience and the race can be challenging. The dynamic environment of a Formula One event with cars moving at high speeds and rapidly changing weather conditions, it's easy to get distracted. As a photographer, you must adapt quickly to shifting light and unpredictable moments, all while striving to convey the excitement and intensity of the event. He says, this is obviously the course of the race. Achieving sharp focus on fast-moving subjects and preserving the atmosphere of the race is a demanding task, but sometimes it can result into memorable and evocative photographs. This image here is a Nigel Mansell, a Williams Renault entry. British driver Nigel Mansell delivered an outstanding performance in the Grand Prix, in this particular Grand Prix, ultimately securing victory for himself and his team. After spending several seasons with Ferrari, Mansell made a successful return to Williams. In 1992, he clinched the season title, making it a pinnacle achievement in his racing career. And I believe this is the last image. Well, everybody will know who this person's name, Michael Schumacher, in the Benetton Ford. In 1992, Formula One witnessed the rise of new notable drivers and rivalries that would shape the sport's future. Among the most significant developments was the arrival of Michael Schumacher, which introduced a set competitive dynamic to the grid. Schumacher's emergence marked a turning point, setting the stage for intense battles and changing the landscape of future championships. Following the review of images and as a continuation of discussion from the previous general meeting, he plans to share insights and lessons learned regarding effective methods for cleaning slides. Obviously, Gustavo already mentioned that that will be pushed out until the next show. But hopefully, what you'll get from that is, insights that'll help you improve preservation of your old photos. So, Gustavo, if you're still awake, we thank you for those images.
Excellent.
And a nice story to go along with a set of images. Good job. Very good. Let's see who we have. So we have Michael Dries is next, and then followed by Martin Hild. So Michael's been busy, in Florida. He stays there for a while and then comes back home. And he says when he sent these images to me, he said he's going to stay in sunny Florida for another 3 weeks. So here's his first image. He says, our neighborhood sandhill cranes walk to the lakeshore each morning where they drink and forage in the shallow water. These birds are very acclimated to him. He's had them literally walk past him within a few feet. So he says, my goal is to capture a wide-angle view of the lake and the sky with the birds in the foreground. He says, I really enjoy using the Nikon Z28-400 for these purposes. It's not the sharpest lens in the bag, but definitely the most versatile. Well, it looks adequately sharp in my eyes.
Yeah.
Now, the next image is the one I kind of told you about at the beginning of the show, that he had a picture of a bird that I never heard of. I've never seen it. Of course, I don't live in the area, I guess, where it resides, so that's why I would never see it. But this was like on his bucket list to get this bird.
Yeah.
He says on his list of most desirable subjects for this winter, he was fortunate to find such a cooperative individual shot from the front seat of his car near a cattle ranch, and it's called a crested caracara. This was in Sarasota County in Florida. And he said this photo and the remainder of what you're going to see are all shot with the Z8 and the Nikon 400 TC f2.8 VRS lens. So this was at f4 at 1/1000th of a second, ISO 1000 at 560 millimeters. And I mean, obviously a bird of prey, and look at the talons on that sucker. I don't even think an eagle would want to get in an argument with this guy. I wouldn't want to get in an argument with that guy.
Yeah.
And the next shot he sent in is interesting because there are people that use this technique a lot, and it's not something that I don't think we've ever really talked about it on this channel. And Michael, you know, did something that you know, like I said, it's talked about here, and I'll bring up his image. It's called a high key image. So basically, this is of tree swallows. And so basically what he did was he dialed in a 1 3/4 plus 1 3/4 exposure compensation to make it so most of what is in the image is overexposed. And that's an intentional, that's what they call a high key image. And this was at these are tree swallows. And this was at a Circle B Bar Reserve in Lakeland, Florida. F4 at 1/4000th of a second, ISO 2000. And yeah, you have to shoot at 1/4000th of a second or faster, many a time, to try to have these tree swallows focus, because they have unpredictable flight patterns, and they are very fast. And that image, I mean, both birds are tack sharp. I mean, wonderful job.
Very nice, really nice.
So Michael,
That's a wall hanging one.
yeah, thanks for sharing an image using a technique that is occasionally talked about but not often seen.
I love high key.
Yeah. So this is a red-shouldered hawk in Orlando, in the Orlando wetlands in Florida, 1/4000th of a second as well. He said it was really neat watching this bird display on top of this old snag, and it has a few puffy clouds, which is good. Then this is his last shot coming up here. This is another target species he was looking for, a snail kite.
Oh,
I know they have. This was near a fishing pier on his local freshwater lake, and you could see it has leg bands on it. They are a threatened species in Florida. And snail kites, I know that Moose Peterson does. He does classes photographing snail kites in Florida. Is one of the things that he does for people that want to pay to go shoot with him. But the snails, it's neat. I've seen pictures of them. The snails they eat are like huge snails. I mean, they are gigantic snails. They're not when I think of snails, I'm thinking of something like the size of a nickel maybe, or a quarter at the most. And the snails that these suckers eat, like softball size or hardball size anyway, they're big. They're big. So I don't know if Michael's in the chat or not, but Michael, if you have a picture, if you're here or you watch the show another day, if you have an image of one of these with a snail, share that with us, because I think people would be surprised how large these snails are that they eat. So thank you, Michael, for your imagery, as always. And then we have a series of images from Martin. And after Martin, I got that one extra shot that Mr. Bixby sent me, and then some pictures from Jeff Sluter. So that's what we have coming up. So Martin always tells me a nice story with all his images. So this is He says February was the usual slow photo month for him. He says he doesn't like February. The weather's often not very good. It often starts with wet, cool, and windy days. He says I should travel again next February. So his first picture, he says, may not be the strongest picture technically, but he likes the symbolism behind it. Spring shows its power and the old leaf litter. The brown, gray, and depressing winter is being ended by fresh new green leaves popping out of the ground. These flowers are one of his favorite flowers. He's shown them before, and he says, and I will not stop showing them. They're not particularly rare. They're not abundant either, but you can find them. But they pop up in mid-February when everything is dull and depressing. They seem particularly hard to photograph, and he struggles every time, but he loves the white carpets of flower in the spring. This patch of a few thousand plants is the earliest to bloom around his area. It's maybe an hour to drive to the location in neighboring state of Rhineland Palatinate. This is with the Z6 II and the Nikkor 105 millimeter macro lens, f3 ISO 100 1/25th of a second.
It looks like a crawl through the leaf. That's beautiful.
The next shot he took is of the first wall lizard he photographed this year. He says when the temperature rises over 50 degrees Fahrenheit, these creatures start to wake up and peek from holes in the walls down by the Rhine River. It's one of the first signs of spring. Isn't it fun that there are spider webs in front of its home? He says, I love those lizards. At the moment, they're not doing much and are kind of hard to spot, but in a month, you can see them scurry all over the walls there. He says, lots of fun for him. This may be one of his favorite subjects to photograph in the animal kingdom, that is. Easily the first reptile to show up after winter is there. Once again, the Z6 II with the 105 macro lens. He says this picture was a first for him. It shows a Eurasian sparrowhawk. It is quite the small bird. He says we caught this one in a local park where it was preying on small birds. Excuse me. He says, of course, Verena spotted it. He says, well, I wish it sat in a better position, but I still like the photo. This is a Z9 with the 800 PF wide open at 6.3, 1/1000th of a second, ISO 2800. And he said also some creative cropping and DxO enhancements, denoise sharpening was added. And let's see if I got another one here. So this is the same flower you saw in the first image of the snow bellflower. This time, however, he drove with his mom to Central Hesse to the Vogelsberg mountain range. He says, I guess Gustavo might like the geology of that area since it's the largest basalt formation in Central Europe. He says, and this place might be one of his favorite places in spring. It's a light forest, and the forest floor is covered with basalt blocks that are overgrown with moss. Between those stones, we found tens of thousands of flowers. It is an incredible sight. Says, for once, I'm happy with the photos I took. Says, I wish I could have been able to take photos in the setting sun, but he said his mom insisted on having cake at a bakery in the nearby city of Schotten. Well, you don't contradict your mom, I guess. He said the cake was pretty good, though. And once again, with the Z6 II and the Nikkor 105 macro lens. And so that's his last image. So thanks, Martin, for sending those in. Martin loves wildflowers, and he goes to drives all over to loves orchids. Drives all over just to get that shot that he wants. So thanks again, Martin, for the images. We appreciate it. And then this is another shot that Roy sent me later on. He says just a photo of the eclipse from a couple of days too early, overcast on the best night with the 180 to 600 lens on the zoom.
Handheld because I couldn't fit the tripod out there. So it's a bit grainy.
Now, is this what they mean? Those commercials that we used to have, at least here in the U.S., they'd say with the moon, they'd say, "Behold the power of cheese."
Mm.
Looks
This is a
kind
few
of
days early.
cheesy being orange there.
Yeah, it's pretty good, Roy, since you don't use Photoshop.
Well, that moon did have a little bit touch of Viagra.
Yeah, I kind of thought so, I've got a moonshot like that too, and I showed it to a person from Texas, and they said the moon is twice that size down there, and in my picture was 10 times the size of it here.
It should be about half the diameter, I think, in reality.
If that big. But anyway, it's a good shot.
Very grainy, though. I had to hand hold it.
Hey, Roy, it has that film look.
True.
People are paying extra for that film look now.
That's right. That's right.
Why?
Yeah. So now we're going to look at some shots that Jeff Sluter took. And his first shot is a early crocus shot. This is with the Canon R7 with the 100 millimeter RF macro lens. Jeff lives in an area where, a lot of wildflowers, or at least accessible to him anyway, where there's a lot of forest areas and he gets a lot of wildflowers and wonderful flower pictures that he gets to take. And he gets a lot of deer too. This next shot here, and these are he wanted to send me additional images because he said, well, these are low res shots. They're not really, he said, I sent you the low res version. And I says, they look pretty good to me. Don't worry about it.
Very nice.
This is low res. I certainly would not complain at all. This is a winter aconite, same camera, same lens, R7 100 macro.
Yeah, this is a great shot.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then his next shot is, they're, one of my favorite photographers, one of his things that he likes to do is search for patterns. And Jeff found a nice pattern here on the ice.
Nice.
So this is a patterns on a frozen pond. This is with the Canon RF 100 to 500 lens. I mean, you think somebody got crazy with a piece of string. Really neat. Then he got a picture.
It looks pretty good. I thought it was in black and white to start off, but it's actually colored.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something
You can
right,
see. Yeah.
right
Well,
there.
Hey, you start looking there. There's quite a few of them, and I think this would look better high contrast black and white.
Yeah. That's all right.
It's a great
Yeah.
shot, Jeff.
Then this is neat. Foggy morning with the 100 to 500. I always call it a froggy morning. I don't know why. Just to be smart. Pain in the neck. And I am. Froggy morning. And then his last image is of a male Eastern towhee, and this is also with the 100 to 500 lens.
Flying ball.
So Bob and I shared probably over the last couple image reviews of a towhee that we got at the park we go to, and they're not typical in our location. So we managed to collectively managed to get a handful of shots of our version of this bird. Neat little bird. So that's everything from Jeff. So Jeff, thank you so much for sending these in. Now the next images are from Scuparazzi, and then followed by myself, and then that'll be it for our images. Now Scuparazzi at the last photo review, he mentioned that he had a new gadget that he was going to be using. And so in the images that you're going to see, he's using, quote unquote, this new gadget. So he says all the images were taken with the same gear, but he says, let us reveal the lens at the end. He wants the viewers and the panelists to guess what lens he did use. So for everybody on the panel and for everybody that's in the chat, which I cannot see you in the chat right now because of doing what I'm doing. But see if you can figure out what lens you think that Paul used on these images. He says, and it might even be that no one has one of these lenses, even Roy and Randall. So you guys got called out. Watch out.
That's a challenge.
Yeah.
It is.
So
It's probably for underwater. So let's find out.
So he says the first image is called Racist Gummy Bears. The gummy bears were placed in a mirror background. So he calls this racist gummy bears. They're all green except you got the red guy in the foreground, lying on his back.
It is with the Laowa, the long macro, the long nose one.
Well, put it in the chat. Let's see what everybody guesses. I'll reveal it at the end.
Definitely macro. I don't think it's a long macro though.
So his next
Manual
image,
focus. Manual focus.
next image here
Nice.
is a little different
Gummy
effect
inside a ghost.
with the gummies. The ghost of the gummy bear. That gummy bear must have died. I guess it's going to heaven. It's going to
Or the ghost.
gummy heaven.
The ghost has one.
Yeah. So then he decided to switch things up and decided to take some pictures of something sweet and tasty.
Oh, my
The
favorite.
Lindor chocolate balls. Says, I did hang the image in the air and added a poster in the background. So he hung the treat in the air, and these are all pictures are taken with the Nikon Z8 and a lens yet to be revealed.
Wasn't me.
And then here's some more.
More of mine.
Looks like Roy has his.
Yeah.
Cookies have arrived.
Yep.
So Paul says that this image has 3 different Lindor balls on a mirror
Give me the green, keep the other 2.
with some smoke. The whole setup was placed on a mirror. He had a hard time to find the proper white balance and color balance for this image. What's also challenging is not to have any light reflections. That's why he tried to create an HDR image of 3 images. And this is the same tasty chocolates, this time outside with the snowy city
Come
in
on,
the
I'm on
background.
diet. Come on. That's
So
torture.
says, unfortunately, the weather was bad and cloudy and snowy. It was too warm for the snow to stay. And here he had issues with the light, so that's why he created another HDR of 5 images.
This is life-threatening images for myself. I'm a diabetic.
Could be a
So
lens
this,
baby
this
or
one
something.
is a police car.
Is that next to M&M's?
Yeah.
Yeah, police car on his balcony with the city in the background. You could see the skyline a little bit, like like in the middle of the frame. City in the background. As a decoration, he added some Smarties for some color. So they're Smarties.
We can see what he lit it with anyway. Is ring light.
Smarties are basically a Swiss version of M&Ms, just without the nuts and better chocolate.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, we got Smarties
too.
up here.
Me
Yeah.
too.
So he says, wondering if anyone has guessed what lens I use and if anyone has one. So now you're going to see a picture of the reveal of what this lens was.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Laowa.
It's the
I knew
Laowa
it.
Laowa
Oh,
Pro
wow.
lens.
I got
24
it.
Yeah, 24 millimeter, 2x macro, or he calls it the proctologist lens. He says very special and specific manual focus lens, has an aperture from f14. It's a wide angle macro lens with an LED ring light at the front. The front part is even waterproof. He says, next, I will need to find out a way to make some even cooler images than that. I think it has a lot of potential for macros with cool backgrounds or images of insects. He says, I'd love to get some tips and ideas what he could do better. He says, I'm sure Roy might have a lot of useful tips for me on how I can improve my images. Just don't know how to make good product photos.
Matt Granger had a couple of the new ones.
That's mainly a video lens, because you can go through.
Laowa have a tube goes on the front of this, and on the end has lights for macro with the light, helping the macro.
Okay.
I don't know if it is compatible with this model, but I see that from other ones.
But
Yeah, I think the new one is F11, and you can get different ends on it. It's you get this end, one that shoots off at 90 degrees and one that shoots off at 35.
Yeah, the new ones. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're all waterproof.
it's Paul likes to do a lot of experimentation, as we know. He has the glass ball trick that he uses a lot and does a lot of different things. And so now he has another dangerous tool in his bag of tricks here. So as they say, stay tuned for more to come, I'm sure. So Paul, thanks a lot.
The great shots, Paul.
Excellent.
Well done.
And it's the old version of the 24 millimeter. Okay.
So you don't have that yet, Randall?
Not yet, but I'm interested now.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Next week we'll have two.
You'll have the old one and the new one.
Yeah. Have to compare them.
Yeah. Except
So,
the new one's got
the-
3 different versions.
So the last set of images are from myself. We'll fly through these. We got an otter with a fish, munching on a fish, and it was interesting that it just found this area that had kind of like a nice little bed for him to lay in while he was he's still in the water, but he's had enough stuff floating there to almost like he's laying on his own little personal mattress while he chews up this guy.
Mhm.
And then this one, the next one I'm showing you was a shot that it was very far away, and this was with the 800 millimeter. And I know I increased the resolution, and I had to do a big crop on it. But I like the image with him coming towards me with the tongue sticking out in between his long front teeth.
Na, 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 na,
I'm
na.
coming for you.
He's
Dun, 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 dun,
coming
dun.
for me. My version of Jaws.
Dun, dun, dun.
And actually, when you see them working on a fish, boy, they're voracious,
Oh, yeah.
voracious eaters. And sometimes when you get the shots home and you look at them, you sometimes actually kind of twinge a little bit because it's a little bit more graphic than you expected in terms of what that fish looks like in its mouth at that moment in time, if you know what I mean, without getting into detail.
Poor fish.
This next shot was I saw this particular bird in the tree, and I was waiting for it to potentially fly, which it did. And the lighting was really good and lit up the tail. It's a red-tailed hawk.
300.
And so I really was thankful that it did decide to go airborne and kind of like flew off to the left and then turned back and like flew past me and landed in a different tree in a different area. And then I fouled it politely to a couple different trees that it went in. But neat bird. The next one here is a yellow-rumped warbler, which I get a lot of where we are, and here it's eating the berries on the tree. And what's nice about these birds is you can get pictures of them with the berries in their mouth because they don't inhale them like other birds do, where they must have the word Hoover stamped on their feathers, because you're extremely lucky if you can even get a picture of them, with a berry, because they eat it so fast. So these guys will sometimes, walk around with it in their mouth for, long enough for you to get a nice shot.
Are they breaking them or just keeping them in mouth?
The next one is my minimalist shot of this same type of bird, low to the ground with a little branch sticking out of the ground, and I just like the color and the absence of anything else really, and you just focus on the bird.
Beautiful. And sitting on a so thin branch is very nice.
But then the next group of shots are of something that we were not able to get any pictures of last year because mockingbirds were scaring these. I'm not going to tell you what the bird is yet, but let's just say mockingbirds were being territorial, just like two mockingbirds in a big tree with berries in it was keeping this particular bird that you're going to see, a whole flock of them, away from eating. And it guarded that tree even though the mockingbird wasn't eating the berries. And it became such a pain in the neck that these fellows couldn't get anything.
Ooh, nice.
So these are the cedar waxwings. And even though this is kind of an unconventional pose, the reason I picked this picture is because lots of times you could get the yellow. It looks like the tail was dipped in a can of yellow paint, and part of the body has yellow on it. But what you don't always see is that little touch of red on the wings.
Yeah.
So I like this image because got the tail, I got the red on the wings, I got a little bit of the yellow on the bird, and it's getting a berry, and I was kind of happy with it. But I mean, we took as many pictures that we could, and some of these are cropped a fair amount, and mainly because you'll get you'll get a dozen of them that land on one little spot of the tree. They're all over the tree, but it's not like you can. It's very hard to isolate a single bird because they are so aggressive eating these berries, and there's always birds in the images flying out of the frame, half a bird in the frame. They're just like they ravage, these trees that have berries on them, and we thought they were long gone because one person had seen them like for a day, and that was like in like December or something. I mean, and these are recent. These are like in the last couple of weeks. It's really unusual. So it's almost like they turn back and they pass through the area again. So here's another one, and this one has a berry, and you can see more of the yellow on the bottom of the belly. And there's another one in the berries and below it. And then here's another one with a berry. And then I got one more here, a vertical. I took a vertical, and
Beautiful
I went with blue sky. But you know what? The blue sky helps bring out the color in the bird too. And here you can see the red. You can see the yellow tail. You can see the yellow belly. You can see the red on the wing, and it's got a berry. So this was like, okay, the trifecta here. Getting this shot.
The berries hiding the sky.
Very, very hard to get them, like I said, with a berry because they just swallow them so quick. They don't usually have them on display for any period of time. And then my last shot is of a brown-headed nuthatch.
Oh, so nice.
And if I had another image, I didn't want to add any more images, but this branch is going off of basically a dead tree, and to the left would be like the main part of the tree going up, where the mate is making is pounding a hole in the tree. Currently, has been working on it for a month, drilling a hole in the tree for them to nest. So cute little bird, brown-headed nuthatch.
Beautiful.
Obviously, very, very small bird. But
That's the beauty.
so that's it for all our images for tonight, and we will do our normal start at the beginning and kind of go through them all for the benefit of those that may have joined us late, and you kind of get the little quick show here. It lasts 5 or 10 minutes here. We start off with the green heron, with the fish, and then we move forward to some very young green herons that still have the fuzz on their heads. And these were taken from Bob Repper, he has a YouTube channel called Bob R Photos. So for those of you who should check him out, he does a lot of quick shorts when that he posts when we go out. This is a horned grebe in the winter plumage, and so Bob and I don't do the video content per se the way we used to. It's just very time consuming, and we're both very small channels, so we don't exactly get a lot of visitors. Let's put it that way. So it's kind of hard to spend days and days and days working on something for 50 people to watch it. but we still do it once in a while. And this is another green heron with a almost looks like a translucent fish. And then the red-headed woodpecker. And then some young great egrets with the fuzzy heads.
Little cuties.
And then the where's Waldo here? Where's the turtle? Turtle. There's the turtle. And then we move on to Terry's images of the bird frozen in fear. Terry was very menacing looking to him or her, so it froze. Bushstone curlew.
Actually, it was a couple there. Yeah, that's a couple. The other one was hidden
Was
more
hidden.
inside.
And then he got the Cape
Yeah, they come.
Heron geese, the geese with the fluorescent green bills.
For the night drivers.
Yeah. You sure you didn't like hypnotize them and go out there with a paintbrush? Terry's trying to create new species while he's out in the field, you know?
I'm feeding them with green paint.
Yeah.
I thought what he did is he just put green paint in the food dish, you know, and their beak in, they got squirted.
And we got the cattle egret.
The liftoff.
Liftoff, yeah. And then what's Australia without a parrot?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this bird is Australian though.
Were you like tossing crackers at it?
Yeah. I was throwing it on the air.
Yeah,
That's what the Fosters is for.
yeah. He likes to try to get him flying drunk.
I like it because it was really sharp.
Then here's that laughing stock of the bird world.
Yeah, I can understand why Roy really likes this bird.
Yeah, I do. I'm not allowed to feed them anymore. That's costing too much steak.
It's not healthy for them anyway. They meet naturally.
And then the composite beach shot / Milky Way shot.
Yeah.
So that was all Terry's images, and then we move on to what Luis sent in, which was the white pelicans of South Africa with the purple haze above around their eyes.
They are no. That's a very nice one.
And then the flying Egyptian plover. That's a beautiful bird.
Plover. Mm. And what one in South Africa?
And then you got two kingfishers managed to capture a pied kingfisher chasing a giant kingfisher.
Stay away.
I'll tell you, the little bird's got gumption in the wildlife category. You know, I mean, little birds will go after. You know, they'll actually. We've seen small birds hitting, literally striking the head of an owl in a tree.
Yep.
I mean, these little birds got guts. They got guts. Maybe not a lot of brains, but they got guts.
Yeah.
And then you got this really colorful violet Turaco. And then we go to some images Roy got of his personal collection of pets. The possums. Cityscape shot, Melbourne.
Yeah, just missing the moon.
Just
Yeah,
I did
he'll
miss
bring
it.
He will bring it on over.
and then as Roy calls it, the weird flower.
It's weird
No
for
idea
you.
what it is.
I know what it is. I don't remember the name.
And then part of the Roy Bixby zoo population.
Yeah.
And then we get into the series of shots that Mr. Stewart took. Oh, here comes my puppy, my dog, my little dog. For those of you that have seen over the years, my dog Patches just celebrated her 10th birthday yesterday.
Ooh, you had a cake?
So she's 10 years old, 10 years young.
Mm-hmm.
Infrared, the other side of the view.
It was actually warmer this day than it looks.
Yeah.
I like this flag.
Okay, we're not giving up.
Don't listen. Don't let them hear you, right?
Mm-hmm.
A twilight.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of nice contrast.
Yeah, those are deciduous trees. That's why they're white.
It will be like that in summer too.
Yeah, they won't change color.
Yeah.
Red.
And then the stone sculptures in the snow. And then we move on to images that Anita took. Yeah, this one just intrigues me.
It feels like it is frozen.
It just, you look at it and you go, that's like one of those pictures. Somebody says, what in this picture does not belong?
That's nice. The difference.
And then you hear a voice, the train, the train. Toot, toot.
The only thing is, in the eastbound train, you can hear it a mile or so away because it has a crossing, so it's got to blow the whistle. So you know it's coming when it's coming from the east. When it's coming from the west, you've got no indication that it's coming. No. But they spend an awful lot of time carving this ice.
And then they're showing it, and in half an hour it's melted.
Yeah.
And there's David lost in the wilderness again.
Mm.
Is anybody out there?
Well, I'm kind of lucky that Anita found me and she brought me back.
Brought you back. And then we got a series of Formula One digitized, newly cleaned and digitized slides from Formula One racing from 1992. with various drivers.
And they got Roy's favorite beer on the advertisement in the background.
Yeah. The difference only Australians, they don't drink that.
Neither do Canadians.
The Americans like it.
The Ferraris.
And we have a Grand Prix today here too. Well, after the end, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, you got your own track in Melbourne, don't you?
Yep, Albert Park.
Yeah.
Already running now. They started.
Is it far away from you?
It is to the city. That means about 45 minutes driving.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to live about half a kilometre from there. Very noisy.
Naturally.
This last shot was the one of Michael Schumacher, who obviously became one of the probably most famous Formula
That
One.
was the Benetton, wasn't the car?
That was the. Let's see if I still kept his. No, I closed the window to had the information, unfortunately.
Benetton was after, of course, that now the camera, but
So then we got some images from Michael Drees. He's been in Florida.
that's
We got the
nice.
sandhill cranes. We got like one sandhill crane that's down at the Brook Green Gardens down here, and when that thing decides to vocalize, it's
They're cranes, aren't they?
it's ear piercing, and it's like one bird, and I'm like, people go where there's thousands of them, and if I can't stand hearing one of them make noise. If there were 1,000 birds, boy, I'd better have a good set of earplugs. So
Come on, they're singing.
well, I don't know.
They're birds. They're singing, like the cockatoos.
Then this is an interesting bird, the caracara bird.
Caracara. It's like somebody have slapped them on the head, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or a cheap toupee.
flat top, flat top.
With a metallic nose.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're still
Yeah.
big.
Then Michael got these
That's a wall hanger.
the high key image that he took.
That's a wall hanger.
The tree
I have
flowers.
a spot if you give it to me.
Red-shouldered hawk. Those I actually get sometimes on my fence in my backyard. Doesn't make a good shot, but interesting to see them. And then this is the snail kite.
There's nails. There's nails.
Snails.
Stop that bad bird. Stop doing that.
Bad.
Bad bird.
Then we got a series of images that Martin sent us.
Did actually the plant go through the leaf, or it just happened? The wind bring it there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't plant it that way. I mean, he didn't
Looks
like.
like-
he
Looks
didn't-
like it come through
yeah, it
from
did.
underneath. You see?
The leaf grew through the leaf, the dead leaf. That's why he took the shot. It's like something new is replacing something old. And then he got his lizard shot.
The dragon. Miniature, the dragon. But dragon.
You're being watched.
The eyes.
This was the sparrow hawk. And that was the
Bell.
snowbell flower. Martin loves those. And then we had Roy's
And the not Photoshop.
Roy sent me another image of cheese up in the sky.
He was throwing his pizza
Yeah.
from his balcony. How many pizzas do you throw out, man?
How many? I see that every night, so it's just once a night.
You got to get the pepperoni one. You can say, oh, those pepperonis are actually UFOs. They're not really pepperoni.
That's just one photo. I just Viagra'd the moon a bit.
Then we got Jeff Sluter with the early crocus flower. And then a very nice shot with water. Winter aconite. These are all with a Canon. And then he got a nice pattern shot of the ice. Followed by a fog shot. And then his male eastern towhee image.
Beep, beep.
Then we got a series of images using the Laowa probe lens, the 24 millimeter 2x macro that Paul used, aka Scubarazzi. Well, sometimes the gummies don't make it, and then their spirit leaves them. So they move to a better place.
Yeah, in their stomach.
See, the gummy bear got ill and passed away because it ate some chocolate.
And
See,
their lives.
Paul is actually a guy that we could say actually does a lot with smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be lying.
Take them away. Take them away.
The cops are coming for you. And then the weapon looks like the shadow of it looks like a machine gun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Dangerous lens. And then I'll flip through mine really quick here, just some otter shots.
Poor bird, poor fish. Green fish.
And then the red.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm missing my middle finger. That's all I'm going to say. Red-tailed hawk. And then we got
Nice
a couple shots of the yellow-rumped warbler. One with a nice.
This is good crop, isn't it?
Looks like a little blueberry, doesn't it? And then
like blueberries, though.
minimalist image. And then a series of shots of the cedar waxwing.
That's Australian? Down under? Upside down?
Down under, upside down. Yeah, this image was not flipped. This is it. They contort their body however they got to do it to get the berries that they want. That's all.
That's weird, man. That's natural position.
Yeah. Instead of upside down cake, you got upside down birds.
Way out there.
I'm the king. I'm on the top of the world.
Can you see land from up there?
I see land. I see another tree with berries, guys. Let's go for it.
What's this green part on the end of the branch?
Lichen. A little bit of lichen.
Emerald.
And that's it. That's it. So we
Excellent.
survived the image review, and once again, as always, we thank everybody who participated and sent us image. We encourage those who have not to give it a shot. We do not critique and review images on this show unless we are requested to do so. We are here so that everybody can see an individual's journey in that person's photography. And I think I'll speak for myself, but I'm sure it applies to many people that have been on the shows over the years when we've been doing these reviews, is that you improve as a photographer because of what you see from the other photographers that share their material. A technique, or just the patience that somebody has with, David waiting 6 hours for the train to go around the corner, while he's drinking Canadian beer. That's why he's missing all the train shots, because he's had too many beers. And that's why he's there for 6 hours. But anyway, but I mean, we all get something out of these. At least I'd like to think that we do. And I appreciate everybody feeling comfortable enough to show what they do. And I can speak for myself that I was always someone who never shared anything I did. To me, it was just something I did for me, and I didn't really share anything at all. And I read an interesting editorial in a photo magazine, and next thing you know, I have a YouTube channel and I'm sharing. And as I like to say, I try to get people off their couch and get them outside to get some pictures instead of staying at home. But anyway, that's it for the images. Thank everybody again, and we have a little bit of rumor information, not really a ton. And to be honest with you, I had a very hectic last couple weeks and could not spend the amount of time I wanted to spend on digging up stuff either. So part of it's on me. Anybody in the chat that has any questions, remember to throw a QQQ in the front of it so that we see it. And here you go, Dave. You got a fan.
Yeah. Well, Mosman's just jealous.
He doesn't get any head.
Well, Paul, have a good one. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Have a good night, Paul.
That mystery lens looks very deadly. Deadly.
Excellent.
Depends on where you stick it.
Yeah. So we'll start off with some Nikon rumors a little bit. Now they had a whole big write-up.
You have the specs do you have the specs from Z9 III?
No.
Oh, come on.
It's a mystery.
You're behind. You're too much behind.
There's people that'll say they have the specs for a Z9 III or a Z9 II or a Z or a Z500 or whatever.
Yeah.
But be careful whose videos you watch.
Click, 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 click.
Several Chinese sources report that Sarui has removed Z-mount lenses from online stores. This might be related to the recent reports of Nikon filing the lawsuit against Viltrox in China, and similar actions will be taken against all unauthorized third-party lens manufacturers. So rumors circulating on Chinese social media platforms claim that Viltrox is being sued by Nikon over a dispute regarding Z-mount lens licensing and then they translated they give you the court hearing, the case number, blah, blah, blah. The case type says dispute over royalties for the provisional protection period of an invention patent. So there's a debate over whether Viltrox actually had a license. Previously, Viltrox claimed to have reverse engineered the Z-mount legally. No such thing as legal reverse engineering anything. So that's a crock of baloney.
I think they copied more than just the mount.
Yeah, so this lawsuit suggests they did not have an official license for the specific invention Nikon is citing. Their speculation is some users suspect this is Nikon forcing Viltrox to pay an official entrance fee to become a licensed partner like Tamron or Sigma, rather than trying to kill them off completely. Yeah, I don't think they're trying to kill off Viltrox. I think they're just trying to get what they're due, you know? At the 2026 CP Plus show in Japan, Nikon has on display his Nikon ZR Bayhem neon camera, a one-off model Nikon gave to Michael Bay before the official launch of the camera. And apparently that trend is something that got started with Red. They used to make custom neon cameras for Michael Bay all the time.
Why?
Because of the name.
Oh, he's a cinematographer and movie maker, so you try to get in good graces with people that are going to buy your gear. I'm sure that's what it's all about.
I'll buy something he have. Otherwise, why to buy?
Well, it's something to talk about too. Like so what kind of camera is that thing? It's at least you can't say you didn't see it.
It's kind of like your geese pictures. You can find it no matter what. Obviously, there's a lot of talk on YouTube. Many content creators talking about the version 2 of the Nikkor 70-200 f2.8 VRS lens in the U.S. selling for $300 more than the previous version so it's at $3199.95. So for those who may want to make a comment in the chat, I'm curious how many have an old F-mount version and maybe looking to upgrade versus having version 1 Z-mount and considering going to version 2.
Way too expensive for upgrade.
I don't have I have the old 70-200 FLED VR lens, F-mount. I kept that lens. And
I have the S.
I don't use it a lot. So I'm impressed with the lens that they came out with, but I don't use it enough to warrant coughing up that kind of money for something I don't use a lot of. And I also like the fact that I can use the old lens on my D850 or which obviously I still
Can't do the other way around.
like that camera. Yeah.
Yeah, if they make an adapter for the other way around, I would consider buying it so I can put it on my 750.
That chance.
Yeah, they'll call that the dumb down lens, right? The dumb down adapter. So that's, I mean, there were a lot. Like I said, I kind of didn't have a lot of time this week, last couple of weeks, and but there are so many from that CP Plus show. There are so many Chinese third-party lenses coming out that if you were to list them all, just to read the list would take us probably 15 minutes because there's just so many of them. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it was one factory make the lenses, 150 brands sell them.
Yes.
So is there a license just for the auto focusing, or is it also for manual focusing?
Well, I think you have to get permission to use the mount, number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
And then as part of that, part of that mount is the interface to communicate with the lens, which is also, probably proprietary as well. depending on how close they copied it, I mean, that we don't know. But I mean, I think it's just some people are really worried that Nikon's going down the path of Canon, where they don't want third-party lenses for their, for their high-end bodies. They'll allow third-party for their APS-C camera bodies, but they don't want to have a third-party for their, their high-end bodies. And I don't think Nikon's doing that at all. I think
Nikon it is a smaller company and try to protect its stuff. Well, we know that Tamron pay for that. And well, it's not fair for Tamron, for example, not only for Nikon, for any, Shirui or Voigtlander or whatever, just make lenses just because they can.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No.
Well, Nikon have to protect the people who has to make deals with. It's not, even if they don't care about it, they have to care about the people that pay them for it.
Right. It's like saying, oh, Tamron, we'll keep it. Because then if you do nothing, it's like, yeah, Tamron, we're putting the screws to you, but we're not going to put the
You're
screws to
stupid.
everybody
You
else.
pay us and we left everybody else to go through. It's not happening. It cannot happen.
See, the camera companies make very little money on cameras. They make it on glass.
Everything is on the glass. Exactly.
And so what they want to do is protect that market. Like I got 3 lava lenses, and it's only because Nikon doesn't make a 10, 12, or a 15.
Yeah.
Now,
And I believe Lava pay them as other companies probably do, but not everybody. That's the point.
Yeah. Only one of those 3 is automatic on Zeph mount, and that's the 10. The others are manual.
Yeah.
Now on Sony rumors, this is Sony rumors talking here. Now I'm just relaying information from them as they say there's more solid evidence that Sony's working on a new 16 megapixel partially stacked full frame sensor. This could, and the person says, and I mean could, end up in the Sony FX3 version 2, which is expected to be announced this year, and possibly in a future Sony A7S4 if Sony ever decides to bring that model back. And the key specs, there's not a lot of them. 16 megapixel partially, stacked sensor, near 5K recording, 240 frames per second readout, active stabilization, HDR video, 2 PDAF system with 120 frames per second. And that's all they got on that. Samyang is to show an early prototype of a 20 to 50 millimeter f2.0 lens at CP Plus. The new Sigma 35 1.4 version 2 FE and the 15 millimeter f1.4E. The E is for APS-C cameras. Will be announced or should have been announced on February 26th. And Sony says late 2025, they're going to publish. Late 2025, Sony rumors said they published a rumor about these 3 new lenses coming from Sony in early 2026. A 100 to 400 f4 GM lens, a 1 to 400 G variable aperture lens, a 16 to 28 f2 GM lens. And he says, well, I'm 100% certain that Sony will introduce these 3 new lenses before mid-2026. He had no reliable information that they were unveiled at the CP Plus trade show. I don't have anything for Fuji. A lot of what was on Fuji rumors was basically talking about what lenses would you like to see Fuji come out with, that type of stuff. So I figured I skipped over that. Canon rumors. I'm just going to give you the title for the most part of some of the articles that they have that you might want to check out. Says one of the titles was Canon to come out with an RF 100 millimeter f1.4L VCM ? Canon to announce a zoom lens faster than f2 in late 2026. Will it finally happen? Question mark. A new macro lens longer than 100 millimeters with variable magnification. And then there was a long article, kind of too long for the amount of content that was in it. New technology, compact models coming. Interviews that DP Review did at CP Plus with a gentleman named Go Takura, who's Canon's executive vice president and head of imaging group. He was quoted as saying, "Current customers of compact cameras are not really our past customers. These are totally new customers. So it's going to be the role of the next camera we release that can offer new technologies or a new use case. That's the new role of the next compact camera." This, and of course, Canon Rumor says this quote in itself is a surprise. It's very rare for Canon to come out and state something so clearly. What DP Review and Canon has stated is very close to some of the points Canon Rumors discussed previously. In an article published the end of October of 2025, Compact Camera Revival, where is it? They pointed out that there's still great demand for compact cameras, as evidenced by the prices of secondhand cameras. And I know Tim was looking at secondhand compact cameras and was almost had a heart attack of what people were getting for them. They said some of the current top models, like the PowerShot G7 X3, sells for $1,000 plus secondhand and $1,300 new. And they said there's a demand for compact cameras that certainly isn't being met by Canon and most other camera manufacturers. Canon's current answer, of course, this kind of got booed to death, is recreated a reskinned PowerShot G7 X3, and they charge an extra $400 for it. Yeah, that is a big joke. That $400 more for a camera that really isn't any different than the previous model. So they just said that, they're encouraged to hear that Canon's going to release a new fixed lens camera that will be at least up to Canon's current level of technology. When this will happen remains to be seen, even though the latest rumors are suggesting something happening this year. But yeah, the small cameras for
Something happened.
the
Something.
young folks are snapping up used compact cameras like crazy, and of course they're into the instant cameras that Fuji makes as well. But that's really all I had for rumors. Are there any? You guys see any questions in the chat at all?
You mentioned that funny new Canon camera that looks like a medium format that mutated a bit.
That's a funky looking artsy fartsy thing that
It is.
I can't grasp that.
It is weird.
But
There may only be one of them in existence.
Let's hope so.
so say hello to Arthur. Arthur's here. Arthur sent me some images. I don't know, probably a month ago, maybe privately. He's been busy continuing to take his nature bird shots and doing very well for himself. And he likes the Coke shirt and the duck off shirt that Roy's wearing. But yeah, I just as there's been a lot of. My dog was here and she left. I think she probably has to do something. There's been a lot of several of the YouTube channels talking about the prices of lenses, whether they're getting too expensive or not. And what I'm finding now that, okay, I've been retired for a while. My wife retired, this past April. And for me anyway, at this point in time in my life and where I am with what I have, I mean, for me to spend $3,000 plus on a lens, it has to be something really, 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 really
Really needed. Yeah.
for me to do that nowadays, because I would be one, I don't need anything right now, and there's only a few lenses that, you know, if they came out with a 200 millimeter macro, I might be interested in something like that.
It's for the new users. These new lenses for the new users. They're not for upgrade. They're not so much better than the previous ones to justify the expense.
Well, what you're paying for is that voice coil motor is a big part of it. Is a big part
I
of
don't
it.
believe. I don't believe there is so many people around that they have the 70-200 or the 2470, and they are willing to pay the money to exchange these lenses, because it is a lot of money on one hand. The other hand, there is, they are good, but it's not so big deal.
Well, what I've always made comments on, and a lot of it because of what you see behind me, is it'll be just like if a Z, when and if a Z9 II comes out, or anything new that comes out, it's like the standard verbiage diarrhea that comes out.
Yeah.
It tries to imply that the old one sucks so bad that you got to get the new one. You know, and the last time I checked, you know, I could still take a pretty darn good picture with a D850 without breaking a sweat. But you would think that, oh, that camera is awful. It's like, you know, generations behind. You know, you can't take a good image with it. You know, and it's baloney. You know, people are shooting with all
We
sorts of
forget
cameras that are decades old and get perfectly good results.
Well,
we forget the people that
it's-
were making photographs with the wooden boxes and a small glass on the bottom, and they were making art. We're forgetting that. Oh, we have to have the Z9 with the latest lens, otherwise I can't make a photograph.
Well, my shots that I
Marketing.
submitted were all taken with the D750. And the last time I checked, it wasn't a new camera.
Yeah.
Good camera, though.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with
Good
it.
camera. All the cameras are good, as long
I
as
mean-
you know to work with them.
I mean, of course, they have to try to word it like that, because otherwise, you know, they got to come up with some reason to try to get people to buy the new stuff.
It is marketing. That's it.
It's marketing. It's marketing, but in reality, you
All
know,
the companies with any product, all the companies use the same way, marketing. Try to make the people believe they need it. Simple as that. Now,
Yeah.
who have the money is buying it. Who have a brain, it keeps for the next version.
you know, so it's like, you know, like I said, I sit there now. I mean, I have a 70-200, but I recognize that for the genre that I shoot currently, and my genre does change depending on where I've lived. What, you know, if you live in the city and you're nowhere near what you took
Yeah.
before, guess
Wildlife.
what? All of a sudden you're gonna get good with if you want to take pictures, you're gonna be doing you're going to be doing architectural shots, and you're going to be doing street photography and stuff like that, because that's what's available to you. So, I mean, I've shot all different kinds of genres, and really the only ones that really stick that I really like to do a lot is you know, nature and birding and street photography and macro, and when I have an opportunity, landscape shots. But you know.
I love landscape. I like landscape like nothing else.
That's
Lately, I haven't
almost
done
all I
anything.
took.
I'm more wildlife than anything else.
Yeah, I took almost all landscape shots when I lived in New England. Fall foliage, the waterfalls,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean, or you look at what David and Anita take in Canada. They have, they got the snow on the mountains. They got the nice ice in the water shots and all that stuff. I mean, they have a plethora of opportunities for that genre of photography. So, I mean, that's going to be something that's in your toolkit. But a lot of what somebody's genre ends up being, lots of times, is based on where they live. What's near them.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I mean, unless you have, a budget where you're able to travel a lot and go to a lot of different places.
I need to travel 3 hours for a decent landscape now.
Yeah,
I don't have anything close to me. I mean, yes, I can. I can go to the beach and make photographs of the same again and again and again, the same thing. Which you need something new every now and then.
Yeah.
I can go to Sekilda, for example, and make a new series of photographs of all the things around there. But I've done it already so many times.
Yeah. Well, Terry, if you go on and take a wildlife shot, you just got to use a mirror.
I know that. The macro. I'm going to them with the macro. You can do it if you want.
Yeah.
But it's like you would. Unfortunately, some YouTube content creators obviously are not going to rush out there and say you don't need that. They're gonna just say how great the lens is, and
all the channels don't hide behind our fingers. All the channels are there for clicks and money, for no other reason. There's only few channels like yours here, maybe a couple other more around, but which they're not attracting so much people because they don't use the flashes, they don't use the marketing, they don't use this.
right.
This thing.
I don't
Everything else is click, 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 click.
Yeah,
They have to attract you to go there. To attract you, they have to make a title with the new Z150,000 with the extra lens. Most of the people they falling on the trap, and they click just for 5 minutes. That's enough. For them, it's enough. They have a clicks.
The channels with the highest channels with the highest growth are always going to be the ones that talk gear all the time.
Yeah, that's for
gear all the
sure.
time.
Because we are marketing driven, and we think, I have to know if this is now. Lately, for more than a week now, you can see 100,000 people talking about the new DX series software.
The DxO.
Everybody
DxO, yeah.
about the DX. Now it doesn't have the subscription. They give only one. Yeah, but put down the money the DS asking for their own program for a year. They asking more than what Adobe asks. They don't say nothing about that. They said, you pay $180 and you have it for life. One of them. They don't say it's one program. And yes, okay. What's the difference? The next year you'll go to upgrade. What's the difference? I don't like the subscription of Adobe under any circumstances. But we are on the same thing. They twist the things to make us believe, I'm going to DX because you don't pay every month.
Well,
You pay every month.
companies, the whole subscription plan is so that companies have a continuous revenue stream.
Yeah, they have revenue.
They have a continuous revenue stream. And but I mean, I personally, like in the old days, when I bought software, I used to get ticked off, when you bought, whether you bought Microsoft Office as a package or you only bought Microsoft Word or whatever. And if you bought it and you quote unquote owned it, when they came out with a new version, it was like hundreds of dollars to update it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so
Until they understand the difference, and
so it's
they
like
change their mind.
so they're getting their hundreds of dollars now, but they're getting a little bit every month.
Yeah.
You know.
It was the idea for Adobe was brilliant. They make a lot of money from that. I don't condone it. I don't like it, but it was a brilliant idea. Everybody else, they saw the cookie and they said, oh, we have to do something about it. When they saw the people react on the subscription, what we can do? Okay, we put the same amount of the subscription for a year, but they don't need to buy the next year.
Well, how many versions of Topaz has there been since it came out?
Yeah, and now Topaz is subscription. Topaz is subscription now, and more. They're asking for more money than what you pay for the Adobe. Well, if you are so desperate, go. And I don't understand the difference. I have tried all the trials programs to find anything better than what Adobe offers. And I haven't seen so much difference, a serious difference to make me think, oh yeah, I'm going to spend the $250 because we're talking for Australia now. I'm going to pay the $250 for DxO or whatever to have this program. But it is marginally, in some cases better, in some cases worse.
Well, you get into how many times do you watch a comparison of two lenses from different manufacturers, or comparing a version 1 to a version 2, or Mark 1 to Mark 2, whatever you want to call it. And the thing is, I sit in my chair just smiling, and because it'll come down to like, well, they'll be moving the mouse around or whatever, and they'll say, yeah, see, now you could kind of see that there's a little difference here, and you're at 300%,
yeah,
or 400%. It's like if you are viewing a print of your photo at normal viewing distances
of printing,
there is no way in blankety blank, that you're going to see that difference.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I get really kind of tired of the, let's magnify it up as much as we can. And you can see here where this corner is just a little bit softer on this lens than this other one. Really?
At the beginning of Z9, they promote the HC star. I make some tests. Sorry, but I can say this time I could see differences. I can see pixelations. I can see artifacts. Straight away, I said, no, forget about it. Lossless. I have no problem. I have plenty of space on my computer. I have plenty of space in my camera. Who cares? And I have 128 gigabytes RAM for my computer. I have no problem to run any program, any file. My files come up to 10 gigabytes. I have no problem to use them. Well, I have no problem about that, but I like to have something. I pay for that. I want the best quality. Lately, I changed my tune, mate. I try the HC. I don't know which it is. If it is the updates, I don't know if the companies have better demosaicing. I don't know what it is. The point is, I try it, and at this moment, my two cameras using HC star, because I cannot see any difference in 400% magnification. I have photographs, the one beside the other, with 400 magnifications, back and forward to see any difference, and I can't see any difference. And I decide, just because they give me better speed in my camera, no any other reason. I find out that give me more speed, give me more frames. Happy Terry, happy puppy.
Yeah.
But I wasn't prepared to lose any quality for a speed or whatever. But this time it is. Yes, test with yourself. Check what you're doing. If you like it, go for it. But don't fall on the marketing. Don't fall every time. Oh, you this better, otherwise you can't make a photograph. Or go home, don't make
Yeah.
photograph.
Yeah, you just and that's where yeah, okay, many of us on this channel and historically when Chuck was doing it and everything were predominantly Nikon shooters, but
Yeah.
I have constantly said, and I say it all the time when I do commentary at the end of my videos, I don't care what you shoot with. I don't care. I don't give a darn what you shoot with, because the only person that's got to be happy is you. If you're happy with what you're using,
I was using Canon for more than 25 years, man.
yeah.
I
So
was more than 25 years. My personal opinion, with my personal the experience with the last Canon I used, it made me unhappy. I decided that or you continue and you're waiting for the next bad patch, or you change system. I decided to change system, but I did that after 25 plus years. I was very happy with this camera, and a friend of mine has the continues with Canon. He has a Nikon too, but it doesn't matter what you're shooting. It's a tool. If you're not working, you can do it. If you don't know to screw properly with a screwdriver, doesn't matter the best screwdriver in the world.
Well, I think a lot of the problem is with the marketing campaigns and stuff too. I think is you get people roped in that they're, instead of their first mirrorless camera being entry level, they go and they buy the high end one,
The Z9.
and they're totally lost because there's too many menus, there's too many settings, there's too many features, and if you don't spend an insane amount of time understanding
What's going on?
what choices make sense for you, and you think it's just this wonderful thing that you could just pick up and you're going to get a perfect image every time, you're going to be sorely disappointed. And then when you have a problem, let's just say I've had experience working with certain people on my time that definitely bought a camera that is way above their pay grade.
Well, I've seen.
And they do things when they have a problem. They do things that make the situation worse rather than better. And you just don't you just don't jump from it's like it's kind of like the Hollywood types. They got the money now, so they go out and they buy a car. They go buy a Bugatti Veyron or something that goes 600 miles an hour or whatever.
From the Datsun they had yesterday.
A week later, it's wrapped around a telephone pole and they're dead because you never had a car that went anywhere near that fast, but you had to have it. Now you're
You have a money, you have a status.
Yeah.
Of course, that's why I have to buy a bloody Leica.
And
Eventually,
here's a very good comment here from Jim, which is definitely true. Which is one reason why I stick with the brand is because I could pick up any of their cameras and very quickly be able to use them.
Yep.
Because there's a similarity.
Yep.
There's a
I
similarity.
jumped from 850 to Z9, no difference. Absolutely no difference. More choices, yes, but no difference.
Yeah.
I do wish that they would, when you switch it to photo, it's just a photo menu. And then when they put it to video, you just see a video menu. That's the only thing I see missing.
Yep.
But
Well.
it's just funny where there a certain percentage of the photo community, they'll say, I just want a camera for pictures. I don't want video. Obviously, that's not really going to happen. We don't. If anything, it's going the other way, where they constantly to market their camera better than the other guy. That now they can shoot 7K video or 8K video, which unless you have all the time in the world and you have like a the top-notch photo editing software, and you got a lot of time, and you're going to do log, and you're going to do this and that, and you're going to do your own color shading and all this stuff, you got to have an awful lot of time, and you better be getting paid for doing that, because otherwise it's just like most people are going to just shoot what the common things right out of the gate, H.265 10-bit, 4K 60, 4K 30, 4K 120, and that's it, and even that's an overkill for YouTube. So,
If you want to have a 20 and 30 and 60 and 100 whatever frames per second, you have to have a video. You can't have the speeds we have now without the video. Simple as that. I don't like video. I've never done video. My video capabilities sitting on my cameras, they are waiting. Yeah, in 3,000 years, I'm going to use them. But I don't care.
Like Terry, what's the difference between OpenGate video at 30 frames a second and using your Nikon? Well, it won't shoot 30 frames a second, but it'll shoot 20 frames a second. And the only difference between the two is the frames per second.
I have no idea what
Video
it's
is different.
Pardon?
Video is very different.
But when you're
can do it.
when you're
vertical.
using OpenGate, you're using the entire sensor. And then it's so similar. It may not be the same, but it's so similar that it's very cheap to put video into a high-end stills camera. And the other way around. We got some difference with Kodaks and stuff like that, but that's only minor. The internal workings of the camera or the equipment required to do both is the same.
Marketing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when. I don't know. I don't even try to guess anymore when a Z9 II is going to come out. I really don't. And then some will say, well, the longer you're waiting, the more it's going to have in it when it comes out. Which, okay, that's an easy thing to say, but that may be pretty probable that that's true. But I think at the same time, if you don't do certain things, if you don't take advantage of the speed of the CFEB 4.0 cards and have the architecture in the camera to support that kind of speed, that's going to be a letdown for people. And if you don't have where you could do the pre-capture RAW that everybody, well, not everybody, but a certain percentage in a certain genre have been complaining about, and you don't do it on a Z9 II, then you're going to pick people off there. So there's a handful of things that people would say, if a new version doesn't have these 5 things, I'll wait for the next version to come out.
I would be seriously thinking about the Z9 II if you can make me coffee too.
A latte.
Make me coffee. I will.
No.
Cappuccino, sorry.
Cappuccino.
Well,
That's right, we're Australian.
Come on. I don't want to wash my feet. I want to drink it.
but at some time in the development, Nikon has to draw a line in the sand and saying these are going to be the features of the new camera, and they go forward from there. And if they change any of those features, then they're going back, and they're losing time. So, and I wouldn't doubt it that they've drawn the line in the sand already. They're just waiting to get the manufacturing process figured out, and away she goes. Because it may be a parts problem now that's holding it up, and it probably is.
Well, I think that I don't know. I mean, I think if people got to wait until 2027 to know anything, they're not going to be too happy about that.
Nikon make a lot of money with the Z9 because a lot of people who they don't need it, they don't know to use it, they bought Z9.
Well, the
But
problem
they
is,
sell so
they-
much.
if see there's
They
a
make so much money.
see they intentionally think about it. How many people, if a Z8 and a Z9 came out the same time, do you really think they would have sold a lot of Z9s?
Exactly. I
So,
would have bought Z9.
There you
Actually, I was telling to my wife, I'm so happy they didn't offer the Z9 and the Z8 together. Because I will have buy the Z8 because of the weight, because of the money, and now I know I will have regretted. I'm not saying the
But
Z9
that
or any
was
Z8.
you know, obviously there's marketing right there, right?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
put don't because remember the old days you used to have you'd have a high end, you had a high end camera. When they come out with two cameras that were, a D500 was like an APS-C, and they'd say it's similar to a D850 or whatever, but it's an APS-C camera. And then they'd have certain other models where they have two that were like out at the same time.
D4,
And
yeah. Yes.
not anymore.
Yeah.
How
But
many
look what
D4
Tim
and
just
D5
did.
and these things they sell?
See,
But
this
everybody
is
thinks
probably a true statement. It's so far ahead. They're shooting film with the Z9 II now.
Well, that's what I think so too.
Yeah,
It shoots both. You
yeah.
know?
And Polaroids.
Yeah, you could buy a Polaroid back for it. Roy has dozens of those probably at home.
For different cameras, yeah.
Yeah, but you had Polaroid back. You probably had a ton of Polaroid backs for all your medium format stuff.
Yes. One for each. Can't
Yeah.
get the film anymore, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we're at midnight. I'm gonna lose an hour's sleep in a couple hours, so I think we had once again. I think we had some great images as always, and we had a little conversation, and that's good. And now, what's in the queue hasn't really changed much from the last show.
When is the next image review?
The next image review is going to be April 4th
4.
For
Okay, just
images.
before
for images.
if I go to, it will be 2 days before I fly out. Except if they change it for me.
Yeah.
We'll
So
see.
April 4th is the next photo review, and the next
4 for
show.
you, 5th for me, isn't it? 4 for you, but it's 5th for me.
Terry, how are you going to fly out? Is it from Australia to like India or?
I was going to Doha, Qatar, down to Johannesburg, up to Kasane. Now I have to find another way to go to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Maybe through Singapore or something like that, I'm thinking. Tomorrow, I will talk again with my agent to see what else can find for me. Yeah, because I will have done that straight to Johannesburg from here, but we didn't have a good connection between Johannesburg and Kasane. And the other one offers much more luggage. Qatar was offering 2 bags of 23 kilos each, and was cover me to Kasane, straight to the Kasane. The other companies, I'm afraid, have to change, make manual the difference between Johannesburg and Kasane. We'll see. We'll see. That's the problems I'm facing.
So where we're going with the future shows is Gustavo's been in conversation with, like we said, if we have a special presentation where we do a show on a Wednesday again, it's not going to affect our normal 2 shows a month, first and third week of the month. Now we've been trying to get a commitment from Luis whether he wants to do his Morocco presentation on the 25th of this month, which would be a Wednesday. We have not gotten a commitment yet one way or the other. So in terms of, what's going to be the program for the 21st of this month, which is the third Saturday of the month, the one that's the general discussion, and we usually have, somebody, doing a presentation. There's a lot of presentations that are in different stages of completion. Portugal images from Anita. Gustavo's working with her. That may be something that's months away, but it's something in the queue. Astro painting, doing light painting. Part of the team here with the Astro team. Bob Rosato, I think, was going to put together something for light painting. I've got a presentation ready to go for camera collecting lessons and tips, which can be slipped in somewhere along the way. So we don't have an issue having something for that third Saturday of the month anytime soon. But anybody that wants to do a presentation or has something they want to share and put together a presentation, I mean, get added to the queue and give yourself plenty of time to work on it. So if there's anybody out there in the chat that wants to do a presentation and come on and share it with people, contact myself or Gustavo, and we'll work with you in setting something up and give you plenty of time to be able to do that. But we got stuff in the queue, but we don't really know exactly what we're going to plug in on what date because we're waiting for some answers and we haven't gotten the answers yet. But we got plenty of stuff coming down the pike, and worst come to worst, we can always find plenty of stuff to talk about. That's not
Somebody have to say to Roy, you have to use a lens on the camera. Man.
Yeah. Well, so he has to get the.
It worked better done.
He's got to get a refund on those.
At least make a hole there, man.
He's got to get a refund on those rubberized those rubber lens hoods. 50 years and they're bad. I don't get it.
He just need the receipt, man. Nothing else.
Yeah, you need the problem is all the receipts they print out now is on thermal paper, and after 6 months you can't read it anymore. So that's
They were then.
Anyway, I thank everybody in the chat for joining us tonight. We appreciate you guys taking the time out to even come and see this group of wonderful people.
Beautiful people.
Beautiful people.
I am a beautiful.
I'll show my good side.
My good side. I'll show you my good side.
No, wait a minute. I'm afraid of what might happen here. Keep your pants on. And to my friends on the panel, thank you so much for sacrificing your time to support the show and keep us honest and keep things flowing and keep track of what people are saying in the chat. Obviously, it's hard; it's impossible for me to follow the chat when we're doing the image review. Much easier when we're doing the other show. But thanks to all, and we will see you come the 21st of the month as a definite, but keep your eyes peeled for the possibility of a Wednesday show on the 25th. That's a to be announced. We gotta wait and see. And so with that, farewell and adieu. Take care, everybody.
Yes.